Pakistaní comida, pescado frito, iba a decir pollo, pero pescado frito en Karachi y en Punjab y en Lahore. Mucha comida, básicamente. Mucha comida. Vamos a ver el vídeo número 2 o 3 del señor este. Tenéis sus vídeos originales en la descripción. Si queréis dejar vuestro like, perfecto. Y a mí también. Terrible.
Welcome to Pakistan. We're Luke and Sabrina, and today is day 2 of our tour here with Manaki. Today we are in the city of Lahore in Punjab.
Dios mío, tío. Es que ya con esto, si empezamos así, si empiezas el vídeo enseñándome esto, pues bueno, pues ya me has ganado, pues ya me has ganado, pues ya me has ganado.
Pakistan. We're gonna have a full day, all day of
Terrible.
exploring the sites of ancient Lahore, tasting tons of Pakistani.
Eso, claro. Dios, ese pescado frito tiene que estar de locos, ¿eh? Y no es cerdo de fondo, será o cordero o vaca o cualquier cosa de estas, pero cerdo no. Pero no va a ser cerdo.
Let's go eat some Pakistani food.
Uy, este caballo peligroso. Este caballo, la verdad, es que los caballos estos, bueno, no sé si es un caballo o burro, pero te meten una hostia y te quedas loco, ¿eh? Ahí, me ha dado miedo. Como le ha hecho la pata ahí, pim pum, me ha dado miedo, pero bueno.
This morning we're having a traditional Punjabi breakfast. Well, this is a breakfast found all around Pakistan.
A ver, ¿qué desayunan? Ya, yo creo que van a desayunar naan chole. ¿Qué es? Pues naan es como un pan hecho en una especie de horno. O depende, es que no sé en qué se hace exactamente, pero bueno, pero horno tipo así. Y esto que son garbanzos con algo más espectacular. Y no es sopita, son garbanzos. Son garbanzos. No es sopita, ¿eh?
Chene, so chickpea curry, and they actually have a couple different kinds here. They've even got one with a boiled egg. I think I'm gonna try.
Claro, con patata creo que es con patata. Esto está de locos para desayunar. Está de loquísimos.
And he's got this pot. It's probably the biggest pot. I think I keep saying that here in Pakistan, but it's just a massive pot and lots of hungry customers.
Terrible. Mira, mira, esto es lo que decían. Este pan hecho en este tipo de horno, en Pakistán se le llama tandur, pero no sé cómo se le llamaba. Horno mismo le vamos a llamar, pero esto de locos. De este pan con garbanzos de loquísimos. Es que encima tiene dibujo, tío. Encima tiene un tipo así, dibujo, mira. Le hacen el dibujito.
So there's two pieces to naan chene. The chene, which we just saw, and then the naan, the fresh bread that they're cooking in the tandoor oven here. And he kind of leans his entire body into that tandoor to stick them onto the side. I don't blame him because it's really cold here in Lahore today, and that has a nice heat coming out of it.
Mama, mira.
Our naan chene has arrived, and here is the chene, the chickpea with a masala of spice.
Bueno, a ver, pensaba... Vale, pensaba que era patata, pero es un huevo. Bueno, la verdad, yo personalmente pensaba que era una patata, pero al final resulta que es un huevo. Terrible.
And actually a boiled egg in the middle. This is a super famous breakfast here in Punjab, especially in Lahore, and I love how there's an egg. It makes it just such a classic breakfast. And check this out, this is their naan, and they actually made it into a little heart for us. It's almost like latte art, but naan art. And tons of sesame seeds on there. Oh, super hot.
Es que muy barato el pan, ¿eh? 15 rupias, tío, muy barato el pan. Me sorprende. Me sorprende que sea tan barato el pan. Espérate. 15 rupias. Supongo que uno será 15. Es que no llega ni a 10. ¿Son cuánto? Estos son 5 céntimos. Ni eso.
On there. Oh, super hot still. And I'll just try, before I try the egg, just try some of those chickpeas. Yum. That is so good. It's so simple, but there's also so much flavor at the same time. It's just chickpeas, but there's so much flavor packed in
Terrible.
there. It's not spicy, it's definitely toned down as this is a breakfast dish. It feels light for breakfast. Oh, and I didn't even mention how good this naan is. Tons of sesame. So fluffy. Oh man. Tear off a piece of this egg and get some of the chene. The fact that this is just a simple breakfast dish makes me kind of envious at how good food here in Pakistan really is.
You've got to have this to start the day. The doodh patti here in Pakistan, only made with milk. You can see on top, there is like a film forming from that fresh milk, and it smells absolutely incredible. So,
Terrible.
looks really hot.
Es que, Dios mío. Ojalá poder desayunar lo que están desayunando todos los días, tío. Sería increíble. Estaría con 10 kilos de más. Pero bueno, no pasa nada.
Whoa. Okay, this one is much different than yesterday's. Oh my god. Luke, you're gonna love this. Wow, what an amazing breakfast. And that egg inside really fills you up. But we are not quite done for the morning yet. We are heading to have our second breakfast. We are going to have nihari.
Bueno, doble desayuno, claro. Claro, doble desayuno, ¿no? Claro.
पाकिस्तान पूरे वर्ल्ड नंबर 1 निहारी वारस निहारी
Number one.
नंबर 1 निहारी वारस निहारी.
Wow.
Bueno, ahí acaba de hacer un poco de que nuestro plato es el mejor de todo Pakistán, básicamente. Y que ya está. Y que nuestro plato es el número 1 de todo Pakistán. Terrible. Terrible. Es que esto ya no sé qué es. Os digo que esto ya la verdad no sé qué es. I don't know what is this. Madre.
We have come to Waris Nihari for a big plate of Nihari. You can see it just arrived at the table. This is a stew that has been cooked for a very
que no
long
sé qué
time.
es.
It's full of meat, brain, and also bone marrow, and it's in this really thick, rich broth, which has been thickened with wheat. And just look at that layer of oil on.
Es que esto ya es caro, ¿eh? Es que hemos pasado de 15 rupias a 1500, claro. La verdad, la diferencia de desayuno, sinceramente sigo prefiriendo el de 15 rupias, el pan, pero es que esto ya tendrá cordero y no sé qué, algún tipo de carne así. Un poco más cara, pero bueno. Pero no sé, tendré que probar a ver qué tal. Terrible.
On top. There's even a film forming here. And then there's some condiments on the table. We have some lemon, we have ginger, and also chili. And then it's also served, of course, with some bread on the side. All right, let's try to get a little bit of everything. Oh wow, look how thick it is. So this is definitely a little bit of brain right here.
Ojo.
I'll give that a try first. Try not
Es que yo no sé si a mí me gustaría el cerebro de una vaca. La verdad no lo sé.
to get too much. Oh no. There we go. Very oily in your mouth. The brain has no flavor. It's just very chewy and creamy, as expected. All right, let's go in for one more bite of the meat. So it's recommended to sprinkle a little bit of lemon juice on top to add some flavor. This looks like a nice piece of meat right here. This is beef nihari. That was a good recommendation to put the lemon on top. That tastes amazing.
Terrible. Terrible.
So we've come to the deli
A ver, ¿sabes que el corazón de la vaca es uno de los más grandes? Ah, bueno, entenderé la verdad.
gate, the famous deli gate, one of 6 that remain of 12 that used to be, that made up the entrances to the walled city of Lahore. So there used to be a wall, there's some parts of it left, but this is a really famous gate. So we're gonna check out the gate and then we're gonna go in and see what the old walled city of Lahore has to offer.
Bonito rickshaw, bonito tuk-tuk, básicamente, la verdad. Bonito. Vale.
Behind me is Wazir Khan Mosque. This is in the heart of the walled city of Lahore. The man who built this was from Persia, so you can see a lot of examples of Persian art and architecture here, and this is just a wonderful place to marvel at the beauty.
Terrible, terrible. Bueno, qué bonita la mezquita, ¿no? Espectacular.
We are at the top and there is a beautiful view over the other minarets and the rest of the city, and the call to prayer is just about to start, or just started. These guys right behind me here are dyeing clothes traditionally, and then they hang them up to dry right over top of the street.
Terrible. Es que están coloreando la ropa. Básicamente están coloreando la ropa. Of diferentes
The
cosas.
textile industry here in Pakistan is enormous. It's the #1 export, and just on the other side of the Delhi gate you can find all these shops selling different kinds of textiles, making them and dyeing them right here in the walled city, and you can find all kinds of gorgeous different types of things.
Bueno, y aquí se viene creo que nuestro pescado frito. La verdad, esto sí que va a ser espectacular. Bueno.
For dinner, we have come to have
Pues
fish
terrible.
fry at the famous Bashir Daru Mahi. This is the oldest fish fry restaurant here in Lahore. They're using a river fish and covering it in a gram flour and then cooking it away in these massive cauldrons of bubbling hot oil. And those are some huge pieces
Ooh.
of fish. Very famous dish here in Lahore. So we're gonna order some up and try it out.
Terrible.
It is time to try the fish fry. It looks absolutely incredible. Let's just go straight in. There's a little bit of bones in there, so you have to be a
Madre
little
mía.
careful. Pull it up.
Es que imagínate como el pollo, o sea, al igual que el pollo, esto lo coges un poquito de pan, un poquito de esta que te dan un poquito de ensalada, un poquito de salsa, esta que te dan también de yogur, y nada, y para adentro. Y entra como un kebab literal, o mejor todavía, no sé.
Oh,
Terrible.
look at that chunk. It is just steaming hot. That is so crispy on the outside, and the meat is just very tender. There's actually a spice that's now building in my mouth. It's very flavorful, but no fishy flavor, just very fresh. Okay, so we're gonna add a little bit of apricot chutney. Look at that. Wow. Grab a piece of fish on this massive chunk of fish.
Bueno.
All right. Let's give that a try. Wow, that apricot chutney is so fruity. That's like...
Es que no sé de qué es. Está diciendo algún nombre en inglés, pero no entiendo. No sé de qué, de Apple, de no sé qué, de no sé qué. No entiendo de qué es la salsa. No entiendo.
like the perfect sweet and
Los subtítulos. Importante. Vale.
sour sauce and blended with that fish. It's a great balance. That's so good.
So for dessert after that fish fry, we're having gulab.
Yo me comí 2 el otro día. Y Dios mío. Yo creo que es uno de mis malditos postres favoritos de Pakistán. Me muero. El gulab jamun. Terrible. Me comí el otro día 10. No, 10 no, 10, ojalá 10. Pero 2. Que lo trajo mi tío. Y bueno, espectacular.
Jamun, which is these little kind of dumplings that are so
Espectacular.
And look at that. It is weighing my plastic spoon. It honestly feels like it's gonna break my spoon because there's so much sugar syrup in this. It's served hot, and I've been warned it's pretty hot, so I'll try to bite a nap. Wow.
Bueno, por si alguien se le pregunta cómo más o menos se hace esto, no sé exactamente la receta, pero tienen una harina especial con la que primero se hace la bolita y le echas sus cositas, no sé qué tiene exactamente, pero le echas sus cositas con esa harina, haces ahí masa, pillas pequeñas bolitas, las fríes primero las bolitas son freídas y después se meten en un sirope de azúcar. Lo dejas ahí, que coja azúcar, pim pum pum y ya está. Y después para afuera. Y ahí tienes el gulab jamun. Terrible, la verdad.
It's so sweet. In a weird way, it reminds me of cotton candy because it's just basically pure sugar on the inside. It's almost like melted cotton candy. And then you've got this really, really soft ball that contains and soaks up all of that sugar syrup. That is a good way to cut the really quite oily and crunchy fried fish.
Is it cold or what?
It's freezing out here at night. I am not used to these winter temperatures. What is this? Dinner was delicious.
Terrible.
For our second dinner tonight, we have come to But Karahi. They're serving Karahi, which is actually the kind of wok that they're cooking the dish in. You can get mutton or chicken, and they have the live chickens here even. And then you can see behind me, they have the mutton fresh, cooking with a ton of butter, of course, tons of spices, and it is just insanity here. And they serve it in the actual Karahi, the dish that's cooked in.
Terrible. Terrible. Es que ver cocinarse esto en directo, tío, tiene que ser espectacular, ¿no? O sea, imagínate que tú vas ahí, eliges tu carne, le dices quiero esto, y ver ahí cómo te lo están cocinando. Uf, tiene que ser espectacular, tío. Diría yo que tiene que ser, la verdad, bastante espectacular, pero bueno.
Just watching them cook up the chickens here while they're slaughtering chickens directly behind it. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it doesn't get more real than this.
Karahi has arrived. We ordered up the mutton and just check out the
Terrible.
size of this thing.
Van a ver, un poco caro sí que es. O sea, un poco caro que sí, sí que es. Claro, si lo pides de pollo, puede que sea un poco más barato, pero 2.400 rupias está ahí. Está ahí, la verdad. Está ahí. ¿En euros cuánto sería? En euros sería aproximadamente 12-13 euros. Yo creo que en 12-13 euros está bien. Está, la verdad, bastante bien, tío. Está bastante bien. Es que encima creo que es de mutton. Terrible. Terrible.
It looks incredible.
¡Qué buena pinta tiene!
We've got a lot going on here. It's really beautifully presented too. So tons of pieces of mutton. We've got some sliced lemon, tons of ginger, some parsley on top. There's even some little chilies in there. And it smells absolutely incredible. Let's dig in. Gonna go in with the big spoon here. Make sure I get lots of the toppings, the ginger and everything too. And of course, like everything here,
Dios mío.
we're gonna eat it with some bread. The atmosphere here is absolutely insane. Sitting right on the side of the street, they're cooking different street food behind me. You go in for a bite, grab a piece of the mutton karahi. Oh, that feels so tender. Oh man, I'm excited. That just melts in your mouth. The mutton completely disintegrated as soon as I put it in my mouth. The way that it's cooked here just really tenderizes it.
Terrible.
A little bit of the ginger kind of spice going on, and then there's so much going on in there. I can taste the fresh vegetables they use to make the base. You can hear this guy cooking like crazy behind me. The atmosphere just adds to the experience.
Bueno, a ver, que estén los pollos. Vamos a intentar evitar pensar que los pobres pollos están ahí detrás mirando cómo están cocinando sus familiares, la verdad. Vamos a quitar esa parte y vamos a disfrutar de la comida. Que creo que va a ser mejor. Creo que va a ser mejor.
So Butt Karahi is one of arguably Lahore's most famous restaurants, and for good reason. This is insanely good mutton karahi.
The meat is so tender, but honestly, I love the additions to it. The cilantro and the ginger on top just give it that extra kick that it doesn't even need on its own. Oh, this is so delicious.
What a second dinner here in Pakistan, and I'll tell you
Terrible.
what, our Manaki crew can really eat. We had the
yeah.
fried fish, we had two of the karahis, and now we're going for dessert.
Bueno, y un postre. ¿Qué se van a pedir de postre? ¿Qué se van a pedir de postre? Bueno, yo la verdad, sinceramente, yo soy con más de comer cosas saladas, no soy muy de comer cosas dulces, pero bueno, pero igualmente vamos a ver qué es lo que van a comer ellos. Es que esto ya no sé qué es. Esto ya no sé qué es.
So the same brand, the Butt brand, has a Butt Sweet, so a dessert shop, and they've got a couple different types of halwa, carrot and pumpkin. We ended up going with all
Claro, ¿cómo ha dicho? De zanahoria y de calabaza. Creo que es esto. Creo que de zanahoria y de calabaza, y lo otro no sé de qué es.
three different kinds that they have. They have pumpkin
Triple halwa. Bueno, interesante.
halwa, and this is a carrot halwa, and there's actually boiled eggs in this one, and then lentil halwa. I really am interested in trying this pumpkin one out first. Semolina.
Y supuestamente tiene que ser dulce. Que a mí, sinceramente, a mí las cosas dulces no me gustaría mucho. Que no sé, a mí las cosas dulces no me terminan de molar del todo. Algunas sí que me encantan, pero la mayoría no me molan, ¿eh? Pero bueno.
That is just super, super sweet, super hot, served nice and fresh. Let's try the carrot one out next. It almost looks like Chinese tomatoes with eggs, but it's not. It's carrots. Same taste, a little bit different texture. I can feel some crunchy bits of maybe sugar or halwa in there. And then, last but not least, the dal, the lentil version. Oh wow, that one's completely different. That one's almost just like eating brown sugar. It's very crunchy actually. I gotta give
Mano,
that
aquí la verdad no
pumpkin.
entiendo, no entiendo.
Pumpkin's so good. It's got a nice fresh flavor. Yeah, that's amazing. That's day 2 in Pakistan in the book.
Bueno, pues creo que hasta aquí el día 2 de los señores en Pakistán. Adiós. Espero que te haya gustado. Deja tu like para más vídeos. Suscríbete, perro. Y nos vemos.